XRP price has been extremely volatile as of late. What's causing this price movement? Is there any good news in the future that's going to stop it? Yeah, there is. There's big news, and
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
And you bet your butt I got news that's going to erase this red you see up on the screen. But before we get into that, we go to your comments. Hot, spicy, naughty, relevant. Maybe I'll share it at the beginning of the next video. XRP Prepper. It's so hard for me to say XR Prepper, but I'm going to say XRP Prepper says, South Korea going into martial law may have something to do with these pullbacks. Thanks, Klaus. Well, thank you for commenting. I appreciate it, and thank you for the support, channel members. John Kosiak says, this dip could be because South Korea has announced it's going into martial law. Holy shit, is there an echo in the room? Well, guess what, everyone? Yeah. It is. Look what I got up on the screen. We're going to the news like right away. Isn't this pretty cool? Look at Upbit. I'm pointing my screen right now. You can't see me pointing my screen, but I'm pointing my screen. Look at Upbit. It's highlighted in yellow right here. That's the XRP to Korean won pairing. All right. Look at its price being the lowest out of the entire group up on the screen. Binance at the moment. And this is, I took a screenshot of when this happened, okay? Binance was sitting at 250, Bybit was 251. Now look at this, to the Korean won, super soft. This gap right here only represents maybe about like 7%, right? It got as much as 13% of a gap between the Korean won and the rest of the pairings. So yeah, definitely going to talk about that. But first, Bitcoin sitting at 95,312. ETH is 35.55. Sol is at 222, while XLM's holding on to 50 cents. Deep in the red, but still holding on to 50 cents. XRP holding on to 252, while HBAR fans are jumping up and down at 32. Mara acquiring, or betterly known as Marathon Digital, acquiring Texas wind farm for better Bitcoin mining. I like this kind of stuff. Marathon Holdings has announced plans to acquire wind farm in Texas to power its sustainable Bitcoin mining data center. The wind farm, with 240 megawatts of interconnection capacity and a whole shitload more, is basically going to be great for them. Anyways, strategic moves. Because of the BTC and altcoin pump, these players are going to have a lot more money. So if you held 100 BTC a year ago, you had a good amount of money. You hold 100 BTC, now you got like 3x more good amount of money. That's the same thing when it comes to XRP, XLM, TRX, ADA. All of a sudden the coffers of those chains supporting them that use that money now all of a sudden have a shit ton more and a shit ton more interest. That's big because that allows for what, everyone? More development. You've got a bigger budget. What happens when you have a bigger budget? You could do more stuff. So you're going to definitely see a massive amount of money from crypto now getting poured into other sectors supporting their business goals, as seen with Bitcoin miners buying freaking Texas wind farms because they got big bags, baby. Ooh, let's hit you with the juice right away. You ready? Eleanor Tourette says, guess what? Donald Trump's pick to replace Gensler could be announced as soon as tomorrow, Wednesday. Sources tell Fox Business. Oh my gosh, everyone. So yeah, there's some red XRP up on the screen, but you think when we hear about Gensler's replacement, it's going to help us out? It might. I got more. Bitcoin and XRP briefly wick down 30% on South Korean exchanges as martial law declared. Honestly, this was like the biggest thing out there. And I'm going to put this into perspective for you. Remember when we were talking XRP and we were talking XRP like back in the day, and we're talking the Koreans, remember pumping it, and all of a sudden then it would dump and all that kind of stuff. That was a large amount of power that you saw back then. Well, you're seeing that play out now. And remember, the Korean pumps, we saw a lot of them too happen on Friday nights, didn't we? Oh, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, everyone. This happened often. So there's definitely some oomph from the Korean won situation. Now, Brad Garlinghouse gives his 3 reasons of why XRP is going to surpass this. Number 1, Gensler resignation. Totally agree with that. Not only is it Gensler's resignation, but how about when the new dude or Chiquita is in office, like in position, they actually do good shit. So not just the announcement of the name, but what about when they actually start doing good stuff? Yeah, I definitely think that's going to be good for crypto. What else did he say? The Koreans steering XRP's explosion. Now, this was before this move happened, okay? So Brad was talking about this. This happened before. Basically what happened was massive amounts of volume just went because of the lockdowns. All right. Anyways, you can read about that all linked down below. Let's talk about price. Let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about will we be able to push through this. If you look at the 1 day, and I'm just going to use the mountain here just to kind of show you a little red and green, all right? Look at this. Had a few touches down here right around that 240 mark, okay? Bounced back up strongly since then, sitting at 254. That's a good indication that there is some definite staying power here. Are we at the 280 something that we saw just previously? No, we're not. Oh, that sucks, but it's still strong. By the way, you're starting to see the damage come back, right? Here's that up it pair. Right now it's at 244 compared to the rest of the market at 250, 251. So the reality is it's definitely getting better. It looks like we've hit the worst. You're also starting to see a little bit of a play around the 250 mark here. So obviously the market's changing. The market's digesting the news. This shows you the strength of individual markets on prices, because this move that you're seeing here of XRP being down, is even strong enough where you're seeing some softness in XLM, but both above crucial levels. XLM above 50 cents, great. XRP above 250, happy. Hell, XRP above 220, 225 is freaking happy, because that still represents a 10% support left. That's great. That's super great. Why? Because you've got more news coming. And it's not just the, hey, we're going to know who's Gensler's replacement is and all that. No, what about like in 2025 when we're hanging out in like February, March, April, May, June, and we're sitting here and we hear about new regs coming into play? What happens when we're watching Congress together on our live streams and all of a sudden we start seeing a totally different thing happen and they're like, yo, let's vote on this, and they do and it goes through? We're going to be witnessing this change. So don't freak out on these initial movements, because these initial movements right here are aligned with some redness. I mean, think about that. When XRP first broke the dollar right here, okay, on the 16th, look what happened, right? We pushed up, we pushed way through it to $1.15, $1.25, and then we pushed back down to that $1.04, $1.05, right? Then we saw this move here. Same thing happened, right? We pushed on through $1.50. It was great. And then it was like, oh, crap. We started hanging out in the $1.30s, $1.40s to then what? To then go from there and break right to 180. And then the 180 move was like, oh, I don't know. And then boom, we went to the 2. So the move is still very early. And when you zoom out, it is just a freakish run. I mean, you're looking at the majority of last year, we were spending time at the 50-cent range for XRP. So you're 5xing. You're up 312% right now on the year. That's craziness. So there's going to be some softness. The situation with Korea, look, as stuff unfolds, as we get more information going on how long this is going to last, I'll be sure to share it with you. So hit the notification bell and the subscribe button if you haven't. But right now, the pairings, though, and I just refreshed it again, the pairings are coming back. There's only now about like a 2% gap between these two. So even from the time of the starting of this video to now, we've already seen that margin shrink quite a bit. So it looks like we're getting the support, and it looks like XRP as having a healthy test of some new levels that we've been touching. You know, I might be on the odd side of the fence here by saying this is actually a healthy thing, because think about it. It can't be nutso every day, because we've seen every move before that went completely nutso, go completely poopo. I didn't know what adjective to use, all right? So I used poopo. I was going to swear, and then I was like, I don't know. Maybe some kids are watching. But so you're seeing this move, and you're seeing several times now during this move, right? I'm talking about since the beginning of November, where we've touched some things, and then we kind of come back a little bit, only to roar up again, to then kind of come back, to roar up and come. And this seems like another variation of that. The cool thing about this, though, is this is getting floor and getting footing and getting oomph really quick here. I mean, for real, from the time of me doing the first segment to now, I already started seeing that shrink down, which is great. The market's digesting it price-wise. Any attempt you see under at 250, it's just popping right up real quick. So definite interest in XRP above the 250 mark. I would like it to stay higher, but to be honest with you, if I zoom out and I'm looking at this going, okay, cool, XRP above 220, we're cool with that. 230, we're really cool with that. 250, we're super cool with that. I look forward a month or two, I don't even know if we're having the same conversation. I mean, 2 months from now, when you and I are sitting here talking crypto, there's not going to be a Gensler. There's not going to be like this nasty like presidency that's been shielding just the attack on not just crypto, but a whole bunch of different industries out there. So you're going to have a very different approach. And it's not just the United States, it's across the globe. You're seeing a big shift here. And these things are all going to be happening in front of us. And that's why, like, when I'm looking at this right now and I'm looking at this battle, I get it. It's frustrating. You know, you get a little nervous, right? You get the alerts on your phone, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, shit, what's happened? And then you research it, and you start seeing it gets better as you research. You're like, this is great. But overall, I kind of look at this as like a little bump in the road that I'm not even too concerned with. In fact, I kind of like it because, hey, it's showing us right now that at 250 and up, XRP definitely has some support. Wait, did you hear me correctly? I'm sorry, this is my bad ear that doesn't hear really well. Did you hear me? Support at 250 and up? Yeah. We are like totally in bizarro world because a month ago we couldn't say that. I got to go work out. My son's going to work out with me. Poor kid doesn't realize that we have a 1 hour super intense indoor running session and then we got to lift. Choo-choo bitches. Kids in for it.